Hello again. I know I just posted a video a couple days ago about the concert, but some things happened that I saw on Tumblr and I'm kind of really pissed off about what happened because it's ridiculous and it needs to stop happening. So basically, I saw a post about people who stalked 21 Pilots recently. I don't know if it was last night, but it probably was because these posts were from like just today. And they got all pissy that the cops were called on them, and they're like mad that they got in trouble for trying to stalk 21 Pilots. And it just makes me so mad that people think this is okay to do. Like, why on earth do you think it's okay to try and like find a celebrity and take away their free time? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And like, as you know, probably since we've been friends for 3 years, like, I'm in a lot of fandoms, especially for bands, mostly for bands really, and like, I've seen a lot of stuff like this, and it's actually like, I'm just so done with people thinking that shit like this is okay. You know, like, I've seen people who think that throwing eggs at Brianna last year just because they don't like her was like an okay thing to do. And I'm assuming you probably don't know who Brianna is, but Brianna Holly, she's the model, and she was dating Ashton Irwin from 5 Seconds of Summer. And like last year she went to Australia. I think it was like her first time going to Australia with him. And there were legit people who were planning on going and throwing eggs at her when she was on a date with him, and they were going to embarrass her out in public in front of hundreds of people. And I don't know why people thought that was okay. Like, everyone got really mad, but they were still planning on doing it. And even like this year, people were planning on going and crashing Alex Gaskar's wedding. And the people who like sexually harassed Josh when he fell into the crowd, like, I know we talked about that, and I know I showed you the video, but like, really seriously, people who like, they didn't even help him, which is really disgusting. Like, why did you just hit him and try to pull his pants down and grab his hair and try and grab at his crotch and his butt? Why didn't you help him up? Like, clearly that wasn't supposed to happen. He's not supposed to fall. It was your job to hold him up in the first place. Like, that's the point of the platforms, is for the fans to hold them up. And you're not holding him up at all. And it's so gross. And it happens a lot more than it should. And I know it doesn't just happen in my fandoms, it happens in a lot of fandoms. And it's disgusting. And it really bothers me that there's this like mentality that you're, as a fan, entitled to like meet your faves just because you're a fan and just because you go to the concerts and just because you buy their stuff. But in all honesty, you're not entitled to meet your fave just because you buy their stuff. They're humans, and I feel like people forget about that. I know it's just like probably the 1% of people in fandoms that do the crazy shit like this and try and like sexually harass them or follow them around, but it's gross and things need to change. Like, you're not entitled to meet them just because you go to their concerts or you buy their stuff and you buy their CDs. Like, I know they say all the time, like, oh yeah, we wouldn't be like where we are without you guys, but that doesn't mean that you can grab at them when they fall, and that doesn't mean that you can stalk them and invade their privacy. Like, they're human. You're making them uncomfortable. Stalking them or grabbing at them is not going to make them like you. It's not going to make them want to take a picture with you. It's not going to make them want to talk to you. It's going to make them afraid of you. And I just don't understand why people haven't figured that out already. Like, it's sad. And it bothers me. it's really sad, and it makes me really upset, and I've seen it so many times over the past few years, and I know it's probably not going to stop, but it needs to. Like, I don't get it. Like, they're human. And something I always think about when stuff like this happens is how they feel. Like, and I don't understand why the people who do this stuff don't think about that first. Because I think if they did, they wouldn't do that. Like, let's say I'm one of those people who didn't particularly like Brianna. And I was one of those people who was thinking about going and throwing eggs at her. I would think, okay, you know, what am I, like, what is me throwing eggs at her gonna do besides make me feel a little bit better somehow? Oh wait, it's going to embarrass her in front of hundreds of people in public. Like, what if that was me? What if that was me who was getting eggs thrown at them? What if that was me who was getting sexually harassed when I fell into the pit when it wasn't supposed to happen? What if that was me who was getting stalked? Like, that's what I think about when I think about and hear about all these things happening with all these bands that I like and people pushing boundaries extremely. That's what I think about, is how they feel. And I don't understand why no one thinks about that aspect, because they're human. I know I've said it like a billion times already, but they're human, and people really need to stop forgetting that. They have days where they're not at their best and where they don't want to take pictures with you, or they don't want to take pictures with fans, and they don't want to sign anything, and they don't want to be seen, they don't want to be followed around, and they don't want, like, they just want to be alone. Like, they're putting so much hard work into their music or whatever it is they're doing for you guys, and like, you're just kind of ruining it for everyone else. Like, there were also people recently, like a month ago probably, who they were like following Josh around, and he was very clearly uncomfortable and he was trying to get away, and I think like a crew member or a security guard or something, he was like telling them, you know, you guys need to like chill out, like relax, leave him alone, and they didn't, and they just kept following him, and he ran and he hid away because he like didn't want to be around them, and they got all pissy that he ran away and he didn't want to meet them and he didn't want to take pictures with them and he didn't want to talk to them, and I hate it. It made me mad, just like this makes me mad. Like, there are boundaries, they are human, you need to leave them alone. You need to understand that they don't always want to take pictures with you, they're tired, like, they're human. Like, why is that so hard to understand? Like, I don't get it. I don't know. Things need to change.